Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Talking to you guys about Married at First Sight. We're dealing with Chris once again. Yes, but this time he's been posted up by Dr. Stevenson. I think it's Dr. Matthew Stevenson. He's a preacher, well known on the preaching circuits, and so he posted up a picture of Chris on his Instagram. And so I want to talk a little bit about social proofing and social influence, and how this picture, I believe, is a PR stunt to influence and sway the black community, especially the Christian one, in how we think about Chris. But for those of you who are new to the channel, do me a favor, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notifications of uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, well, you got the minerals. So let's talk about it. There was a picture obviously put up by Dr. Matthew Stevenson, and he spoke a little bit candidly in his post that he put up himself and of Chris. Number one, I want to just point this out. Timing is everything. Time and season is everything. When you post up a picture, time and season is everything. The fact that this guy is on a TV show and now a picture is being posted of him on his actual Instagram. I went through Dr. Stevenson's Instagram, and it's very rare that you find somebody who isn't family, number one, that is posted up on his page. Now I went back about a year and a bit. There's one or two people that are there, but there's one or two people that are on his page, one-to-one photo. But you know, oftentimes the caption isn't necessarily towards that person, or it's normally about the situation. And also as well, sometimes they get named with an at. Here there's no at, and I just felt like this picture was a bit odd because of, like I said, a time in the season. We know Chris on the show. We know he said he's a Christian, or at least follows God, if I should say that. And so we see this picture being put up, and I believe it's really a PR stunt in some shape or form. Now, he may disagree, but this is my personal feeling. Again, how I feel, okay? Doesn't mean it's absolute truth, but it's how I feel due to the time and due to the season. And so I want to read the caption that he puts down. Because at the end of the day, home is home. I've raised a few people that know what to do when they need to heal. He's been a part of ANWA for just under 8 years and traveled to nations with me. Everyone needs a safe place. So here's my thing. So he's been in the church for the last 8 years. And he's traveled with you. So now what you're saying is you're vouching almost for him, right? You're almost vouching for him. Because let me be honest with you. I love my boys, but if you were moving the way he was moving, we ain't about to take a photo for me to now vouch for you. Your level of madness is your level of madness. Whatever you decide to do is what you decide to do. But it's not going to be my name I'm about to use for your goodwill. Because in this particular term, what we're talking about here is social proofing and social influence. And I've always told you guys about social influence. I've always told you guys about social influence and social conformity as well. And so let me break down what I mean by social influence here. The term here we're talking about is identification. Now, in the conformity and social influence, identification just means when people are influenced by someone who is liked and respected, okay? So for instance, when we have celebrities endorsing products, that is a term of identification. So now Dr. Stevenson, as we know, is well known not only on the preaching circuits, he's known on the YouTubes, he's known in, I'll call it even the social medias in that sense, right? He's a very well-known preacher, okay? We rarely hear any scandals or anything like that. So he's got a good moral standing. So if he puts up a picture of Chris on his page, what does it say? It means that now, as an audience, when we're looking at it, it's like, oh, okay, if Dr. Stevenson thinks that he's cool and thinks he's a good guy, maybe the way I'm looking at him also should also change, right? And so we identify with Dr. Stevenson's and his moral standing, and then begin to apply that to Chris. But here's my thing. I'm not one of those people that are going to be influenced by that. As far as I'm concerned, you've done what you did. You've done what you did. And so we have to account for that, right? But I want to say this, I think the reason why this picture is also up as well is there's two things here. One is for future business, because if he's involved in business, your name is one of the most important things. Your name goes down the drain, you are done. Because nobody wants to do business with somebody who's got a bad name. The name and reputation is so important when it comes to business. Number two, men, when in life, their name is one of the most important things, and their reputation. That's why when men are trying to play girls, they try to exit out with a cleanness. They don't want their names being tarnished. They wanted to even, that's why they flip it to blame you, because then they can't get no blame. That means their name is like, if you think that you're the reason why something broke down, you're not going to trash their name. The name of any man is one of the most important things to them. Their image, one of the most important things to them. Yeah. So, I really believe this picture is all about promoting the name and making sure that his image stays intact as, the good Christian guy, or, the Christian man. And, what I'm saying? Like, so at the end of the day, again, because of what's happened, we also know as well the fact that, quote unquote, we've heard obviously that X is obviously pregnant. We've heard obviously as well, we saw the way that he treated Paige as well, the way he spoke about sex and sexualized her as well. We've seen all that behavior. We spoke about the dad as well. So right now he's not looking too good. Right now he's not looking too hot, especially after the last 3 months you were engaged. And this is why I always say about sometimes that in church, and listen, don't get it twisted. As a man, I understand that we can move mad. I'm a man, so I know. But the accountability of men is that when men do things like this, we ain't going to sweep it underneath the rug. Because had it been a woman who had been with a man 3 months engaged, then got into another relationship, we'd all be up in arms. We'd all be saying Jezebel spirit, right? We'd all be cussing it. But here, we've got a man who decided that 3 months ago you can be in a relationship with someone else, be engaged, and get into an actual marriage situation. No. So right now it's all looking like a promo situation. You've gone on TV maybe to blow up your name, and maybe I don't know, or what you've gone there for marriage generally. Now we're here with another prominent person on our screens on social media with a picture, and right now it's looking a bit promo-ish. And I don't particularly like that. And I'm talking from a psychological point of view, not as a Christian point of view. So if Dr. Stevenson sees this, or his people see this, please don't enter my comments on a mad thing. I'm not cussing Dr. Stevenson. I am talking about the fact that psychologically, what this does, it creates an imprint and it creates a message. Because everything that we do has a message attached to it. Whatever you create has a message attached to it. If you upload a picture, you are sending out a message. Irrespective of what you think, you are sending out a message. Okay. And so, again, within the last 8 years, he's been there and he's traveled nations with him. And yet it's the first time I've seen him on the page of Dr. Stevenson, right? And maybe our eyes haven't opened. Maybe we haven't seen other pictures. Maybe if we go further back, we will see a picture of Chris. I am yet to see it. So maybe someone can do some investigation and find out if there's any more pictures of Chris. Then I can rescind this part of my particular review in that respect. I also want to say as well, because of the social influencing, it also means as well that we can't question all the bad things that Chris has done, because when we do, someone could say, well, he's with Dr. Stevenson, he must know what he's doing. Dr. Stevenson is covering for him. That's his covering in a sense, whatever. He can't be that bad. You know what I'm saying? All the bad things he's done, is it really that bad? You know what I'm saying? Oh, let it go, forgive. And no one's saying we shouldn't forgive. We're just saying, listen, you still got to account for what you've done. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah? Forgiveness is not an issue. It's the accountability of it, so that's a really big thing as well. And so I think, it's interesting as well, because we saw a few series back, right? We had Diona and we had Greg, well, both Christians as well, but we never had this problematic behavior. I've got no problem with a brother saying he's not attracted to a woman. I don't think that's the issue anyone's talking about, but we are talking about the fact that, listen, the way you spoke about sex and the way that you've spoke to her friends and the way you were so brash and forward, it was problematic, bro. And do you know what I mean? So those little things are issues for a lot of people, Christian or non-Christian. Just the fact that they're black are triggered by a lot of the behaviors that they're seeing from himself, right? It's that arrogance, it's that pride. It seems like, that lack of care for the other person. There's no hiding with Chris in terms of what he says and how he feels, which again is a double-edged sword. But actually, when you do speak negatively, it feels like you're really going at the person because you're not holding back, no filter. So yeah, I mean, I think obviously from our perspective, watching it as a reviewer and as an audience member, I'm looking at that picture and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, you're doing damage limitation. you're doing damage limitation. And for me, I don't mind people, if they're going to apologize and say, hey guys, look, my bad, and as long as it's a genuine apology, I can always rock that. You know what I'm saying? It's not me that needs an apology anyway, but I can always rock with that. But if this picture here, what's it supposed to do? Because at the end of the day, home is home. I've raised a few people that know what to do when they need to heal. So again, I've raised a few people that know what to do. Okay, I've raised a few people that know what to do when they need to heal, come back home. So you're saying that obviously you've been a part of his process, right? You're saying you've been directly a part of his process. Well, that means he ends up coming to the firing line too. You know what I'm saying? Like, because when you put it like that, that's why I would say, like, some of the things that I do, I don't want someone to be attached to that. It's me. I don't have to put anyone else, bruv. It's me. Don't worry about my spiritual covering. Don't worry about my pastor. Don't worry about them things there. Worry about who it is. It's me. You understand? It's no one else. It's me doing it. You understand? So when you say, obviously, you've raised up people that know what to do when they need to heal, which means basically come home, I guess. Then you're also part of the process. You know what I'm saying? And I guess obviously he wasn't the pastor that was even talking to him anyway on the actual show. But a lot of people had an issue with the pastor on the show because it was like, hold on a minute, did you not see some of these traits from Chris? Why would you want, like, again, this is what I'm trying to say. It could never be me. Can I be honest? It can never be me that will support you in your madness. Yeah, I'll be like, listen, you can go and do it, but can I be honest? Don't bring me in. Yeah, as much as I think it's a great TV moment, don't bring me in, because I know your qualities and I know what you're about, and I know you're picky and finicky about certain things. I'm really not trying to see a train wreck. Plus, you was in a relationship the last 3 months. I'll advise completely against it. But that doesn't mean that I can't support you. That doesn't mean that I don't stay with you in the tough times. It just means I can't co-sign, because I feel like this is a co-sign. When you say you've raised up people that know what to do when they need to heal, take a photo and put it on your page, I feel that's a cosign. I feel like, I'm not saying that you're co-signing his behavior, but I feel it's like a cosign in the sense of the fact that you are almost standing as a protection gap. But we're not really even coming at Chris to attacking bears. We're just saying the behavior is outrageously, outlandishly poor. It's the same thing with Karen last season. I said the same thing. No matter how much Miles wants to cover it up and say he knew what she was saying, we can see the behavior right in front of us. You can't chop and check that, blood. I don't know how many times you want to say someone's not masculine. Again, I always come back to her because, because obviously last season was crazy as well. Same with Zach and Mindy. You cannot tell me editing or anything like that when your behavior is on the screen for me to see how poorly behaved you are. Brandon and Taylor. Can't tell me Taylor was always triggering you, and Taylor can't also talk about how Brandon was always triggering her and following her. Both of you are moving mad. It's on the screen. Yeah, that's my thoughts. I don't want to talk too deep, talk too long, but I'll let you guys comment down below in a box and section. Let us know your thoughts as well. What do you think of that particular photo? What was your initial thoughts around it as well? Guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notifications of what up. Lows, we appreciate you still locked and stay loaded.